Codex Seraphinianus, one of the most bizarre books ever published, a book which no one can read and no one can understand. Join me as I explain the origin and genesis of this enigmatic book as we solve the mystery of the Codex Seraphinianus. Luigi Serafini is a famous Italian artist and an industrial designer. He was born on August 4, 1949. Luigi Serafini decided one day to publish a book. Not just any book, mind you, a book in which no one can understand. After creating the book, he took it to Franco Maria Ricci. This book would then be released onto the world in 1981. But the world was not ready. The first edition of the Codex consists of 127 pages. Throughout the years, more volumes and iterations of the book would be published, adding new pages and chapters to the book. The new edition would be released in the 1980s, 2006, 2008, 2013, and 2016. The book itself, well, it has a kind of twisted beauty to it. Let's get the first and most pressing aspect of the book out of the way. The book has no known words. Now, many people have tried to decipher it, but Luigi himself has personally said that the book wasn't meant to be decoded. Why is this? You might wonder, well, you see, the Codex has been said to have a few intended effects on the reader. The first one, and the one that Luigi came and said himself, was that the book's intended effect was making you see the books as you initially saw books as a very young child. You skip past the text and see the pictures. And just like as a child, you have a strong transfixion and confusion of the images presented. The other effect is that it's supposed to give you the effect of waking up in a different world or universe where the language, biology, and history are completely unknown to you. I like seeing the book in a way as it gives me an uneasy feeling as I read it, giving me more compelling effects. Speaking of the other worlds, let's get onto the book itself. Well, at least the pictures in it. The book is actually coherent with chapters, themes, and so on. The first chapter encompasses different types of alien plants, such as weird flowers. Okay, you have to see them to actually know the content of the book. The book was made to be undescribable, and for better or for worse, it definitely is. But notable and insatiable images from this chapter include carrots and a diamond pumpkin with vines and beetroot with matches. I told you it was bizarre. The second chapter encompasses animals, mainly animals you know, but with different variations, like a hippo cut in half and connected with wires, I guess. A horse with the bottom half being infected with hives, indescribable birds, and fish, most notable of which being fish that look like eyes. The chapter is, in my opinion, the most bizarre, and it consists of a kingdom or a country with bipedal creatures roaming them. The fourth chapter seems to demonstrate the odd science of this world that seems to unravel as you read the book. But as you unravel the book, you are left with more questions than answers. Chapter 5 seems to show what can only be described as machines that exist in this world. Chapter 6 is humans that exist within this world, but they are merged with various objects like grass and pens. There is also a very infamous picture of a couple having sex and turning into a crocodile. Just goes to show the dangers of unsafe sex. Be careful, kids. Chapter 7 shows what seems to be a major historical event that occurred within this world. If I had to speculate what these events were, it would be that the first person to clone themselves, the peace between the red and the blue nations, and some sort of man who gets laser eyes. Again, this is surreal and bizarre stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 8 is just a bunch of incomprehensible text which could either be interpreted as an alphabet or a numbering system. I am skeptical of this as a man known as Alan Westler, and it's a variation of base 21. Moving on to the next chapter 9, it describes the food served in this world, including a salami donut in a bap, knife spaghetti, and a croissant in which you attach to a cup of tea by a string and leave in your mouth. And the clothes are also bizarre, with lots of weird helmets and gloves with weird eye holes and finger formations, as well as some of the clothes seeming to have huge, what can only be described as growth on them, as well as dresses with candles. Jesus. I think in that world, that's the way you commit suicide. There are also headphones for your eyes. Let's move on to the 10th chapter. Then it shows weird games being played, like games of cards, mazes, and jousting of stilts, as well as bizarre ball games. Now, let's move on to the last, but certainly not the least chapter of the weird book. Chapter 11 details a fantastical building ranging from pyramids to mazes to bridges and space stations. And with that, you know the contents of this book is weird. Let's get into some more details about the book. The book written by Luigi Serafini. Wait, another Italian man named Luigi? God damn it. The Codex Seraphinianus is obviously a play on the last name of another author. Another interesting detail is that the publisher, Franco Maria Ricci, is now unfortunately dead. In fact, he died in 2020. He had other achievements, as well as making maize out of bamboo and publishing other books. The book also cost a pretty penny, going for around £60 in the UK. The first edition copies going for thousands. The books are also not made out of typical material commonly used in other books. It is a strange linen material and feels a bit rougher than your average page. Overall, this book is one of the most fascinating, bizarre, and surreal books ever published. It has rightly earned an enigmatic reputation. Its legacy will live on beyond Luigi Serafini himself. Thank you guys for sitting with me and for hearing about this book with me. I would recommend buying this book, as viewing a PDF of it online isn't the same as seeing it in real life. It really needs to be seen to be believed. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Thanks for staying with me throughout the video. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. And thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the support. And if you really enjoy this type of content, then please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Catch you on the next one. Peace.